Hello and welcome to part 3 of our current vlog series. We are now in Los Angeles, United States of America. We came here on Virgin Atlantic, flying in upper class. I'll post a link to part 1 and part 2 of this series in the description. After a pleasant flight yesterday on Virgin Atlantic, we stayed close by the airport in the Hilton, the LAX Hilton that is. As my wife had to travel to San Francisco early in the morning today, and she has just arrived back in the afternoon, and now we are in our Uber, and that's going to take us to Santa Monica. We're staying 3 nights in Santa Monica. My wife still has to do 3 days of work before we can say goodbye to Los Angeles and move on to our holiday destination. We're going to stay at the Ambrose Hotel. This is our second stay. We also were here last year for the first time. We really enjoyed it. So we are back now for the second time, as it has become our favorite place to stay here in Santa Monica. It is a relatively small boutique hotel here in Santa Monica, sort of in the center-ish of Santa Monica. The neighborhood is nice and quiet. That's why we like it here. Across our hotel, there's this bakery called Tartine. And you can get some lovely coffees there. They've got some lovely breads. You can get lunch, you can get breakfast. But it's housed in an old funeral parlor. Kind of macabre. But it's also, a Uber driver told us a nice bit of history that when Ronald Reagan, the former president, passed away, he was laid in state there. And also his wife, several years later, when she passed away, was also laid in state there. So it has quite a bit of history in this little community. We got an upgrade. We went from a traditional room to a studio room. This had a little balcony and a nice view, a bit macabre of course, of the funeral home, now of course known as the Tartine bakery. We didn't mind, and we had some lovely view of the city skyline with the palm trees there in the distance. The room itself was a nice space. It was quite large, and it also had a sloped high ceiling, which gave it that extra sense of space. Wi-Fi was good. I could easily stream Netflix. Also there on the counter was a nice display of wines and some hard liquors and nuts and sweets. We of course didn't touch them. We already have one mortgage, and we weren't going to take out a second mortgage for the minibar treats. We went to the CVS and got those there. Bathroom was quite small, but we're not complaining. It had everything, lovely ropes and Loctane products, which always smell good. It's not a cheap room. I looked it up. The going rate now is $450 per night, and that excludes taxes. It's a small hotel, but it does have some nice amenities. One is a car and a driver service. They've got a car and a driver on standby, and when he or she is available, they will take you out for, I think the maximum range is about 3 miles from the hotel. So it's very handy if you want to do some shopping or want to go to visit a restaurant. It's a very nice service. Also very nice was in the hallways on the floor itself. There was a water station where you can fill up your water bottle with some cool filtered water. Downstairs, next to the lobby, is a lounge area, basically a place to sit, have a drink. They do a daily wine tasting, I think here. Also, you can get coffee and teas 24 hours a day here. They don't do dining in the evening, but they do have a breakfast and a lunch menu, and for the afternoons you can get a charcuterie board. The staff are very friendly, and the food I had there was very good. Outside the lounge area was a terrace area with some nice comfortable seating, and I would enjoy my coffee and my breakfast there in the morning. Having the nice Californian sun on my skin. There was a gentle breeze there, so it was a very comfortable place to hang out. Before we take off tomorrow to our next destination, Orlando, I'm going to take you to my favorite museum here in Los Angeles. And my favorite museum is the Petersen Automotive Museum here on Wilshire Boulevard. The museum moved to this location in 1992, and this beautiful facade and the renovation to the museum in whole was done in 2014 and 15 when it was completed. On this side of the road, actually behind me, is the Academy Motion Picture Museum, which is also a very interesting museum. And just down the street, the Le Bray tar pits are located there. So you can spend, a day, half a day, visiting some very interesting places exactly in this spot. And a bit more macabre is that notorious B.I.G. was murdered here back in 1997 when he attended a party at the museum. Entry to the museum is $21. If you want to visit the vault, which is in the basement of the museum, with an additional 250 cars which are stored there, you pay an extra $28, and the combined ticket is $49. So you start on the third floor, so you go upstairs with an elevator, and there it's all about the automotive history. Then you go down to the second floor, which is more about industrial design and performance and engineering. And then on the ground floor, it's more of the artistic side of the vehicles. This time they have, of course, a collection of lowriders, and the last time I was here, they had a collection of James Bond's WW7 vehicles. So I'm not going to bore you with describing every vehicle here in the museum, so I'm just going to show you an impression of the floors as I travel through it. On the ground floor, there now is a temporary exhibition of lowriding cars. Lowriding isn't a big thing in my small Dutch town where I live in, but it was amazing to see these vehicles here. The paint, the pinstriping, the chrome, the engraving of some of these vehicles. Absolutely artistic mastery. Not my cup of tea, but certainly worth to show respect to these wonderful artists. I ended my visit in the vault, which is in the basement, and it's basically just a massive parking garage. They keep 250 cars downstairs, and you're allowed to just walk through them and take them in. There's no space upstairs in the museum itself, so it's wonderful that you can have access to the extended collection of vehicles here at the Petersen Automotive Museum. It truly was a visual overload by this time. Let me know in the comments what your favorite museum is here in Los Angeles. This is my favorite, but I haven't even scratched the surfaces of the museums that are here in Los Angeles, so do let me know. Tomorrow morning we fly to Orlando, start for a week-long holiday, so I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, we are dropping off our bags curbside here at LAX Terminal 7, which is the United Terminal, and United is going to take us to Orlando in Florida. This curbside drop-off is new to me. I've never seen it before. It's actually quite handy. You don't have to lug around the airport with your luggage. You're just dropping it off here. They're going to take it to the plane for you, and we can go straight to security. It is 8:30. And we are lucky it isn't this busy despite it being a Friday morning. We are flying domestic first class with United. Despite that, we do not get any lounge access, and that is reserved for people that hold enough status with the airline or one of their partners, or if you're going to pay for the lounge. Both we do not have or going to do, so we're just going to have a coffee here after security. As we were drinking our coffee, there was a pilot next to us, and I noticed that he was working on his iPad, looking at weather on a routing towards Florida. So I asked him, are you going to fly to Orlando? Because it would have been great if he was our pilot. But he wasn't. He was going that same direction. He was going to Tampa. But he did inform us that the weather was looking good for us, as sort of the routes were the same. So that was a nice conversation I had with him. The plane we are flying on today is a Boeing 737 MAX 9. Yes, a MAX 9, but no worries here. We are flying in a domestic first class. I'm sitting here on 1F, which has the TV monitor screwed to the bulkhead. The seats here up front are in a 2-2 configuration, unlike its European counterparts, and it was one of the newer model seats, and it was quite comfortable. Flight time was going to be 4 hours and 20 minutes. Of course, I know that in hindsight by looking up the flight. And we're starting out over Arizona and then New Mexico, heading towards Texas. It's quite impressive to see from altitude, where you go for the coastal green areas of California into the more sandy and desert areas of Arizona and New Mexico. So about an hour into the flight, we got our meals. I pre-ordered the enchiladas, which were actually much better than they looked. The side salad was okay. The disappointment was the dessert, which was a apple pie with a caramel sauce, which was just too sweet and a bit sickly for me. My wife could pre-order a gluten-free meal, which she has to have with United, so that was very good. The food looked actually very bland in the video, but the chicken was moist and the rice with the sauce was actually quite tasty, had a little heat to it, so she enjoyed that. Really no dessert to speak of, a gluten-free chocolate bar, and there was also a bread roll, but we're glad that she got something to eat. Entertainment is free. They have some movies and also some live TV, and they hand out these disposable earbuds to the people that want them at the start of the flight. So as we're flying over Mississippi and the Mississippi River, to be correct, my thoughts on this flight. The ticket price was 700 euros per person, which equals these days about $720 US. That is for a 3,500 kilometer flight, which is a decent value in my opinion. I just looked up what a similar flight one way in business class with the KLM would cost. I threw in the flight towards Cairo in Egypt, which matches the distance, and that came down to 1,800 euros, so about $2,000. So it's a decent value you get cross country on United for this flight. We did book early, I must say that. The crew were nice, friendly, professional. They did kind of do one of these disappearing acts during the flight. With still 2 hours to go, I was never offered a drink again. I'm sure I would have gotten one if I asked for it, but still, I think it's a long flight, so it can be less cheap with the drinks.
We've arrived. We hope you enjoy your time wherever your travels take you. If this is home, welcome home.
So here we are, finally arrived at the MCO. We are on our way to pick up our luggage, which is always a luxury as this is a domestic flight, so we don't have to go through an extra security. We can go straight pick up our luggage at the luggage belt. After that, we're going to collect our rental car in the garage across the street, and then we're going to head to our destination for this small vacation, which is going to be a very nice Disney World resort. I'll keep it a secret until the next vlog which resort that is. So yeah, this concludes this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do like if you liked the video, do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet and you've liked the video. Also, let me know in the comments your thoughts on United Airlines domestic first class product. Do your experiences match as mine, or do you have a strong different opinion? Let me know in the comments. So thank you for watching. Do let me know in the comments how you think I am doing. I hopefully you're seeing a slight curve upwards in the quality of the videos. If you don't, let me know what you are missing. So once again, thank you for watching. Next video is going to be on where we are going to stay here in Orlando and some of the food we're going to eat and a bit more extra stuff sprinkled in it. So hopefully I will see you next time. Bye bye.